Alrighty, hello everybody and welcome back to 1K World Cup 2025. We took a little bit of a hefty break from the last match, which was Japan versus Australia, and we are now back to continue on this round of 20 with Random States A versus Croatia, and a full team of 4 versus just the minimal team of 2. These are actually very close-seeded teams. I believe they are only just 1 seed apart from each other in the lower seed range, 16 and 17. Yes, that is correct. So, and this is also an elimination round as well, so the loser of this match will be eliminated from the tournament, while the winner of this match will live to see another day. As always, my name is Sunny, and I will be solo commentating this match, and it looks like we are getting into the rolls already. We're getting a nice 5 from, I believe that is Team Random States A. Just waiting to see on what Croatia would like to go for here. And I mean, since there are no bans in this tournament, everything is fair game. And seeing how close these teams did on the qualifiers, like if you were to check, they're pretty much about 1 or 2 places different, like at most different from each other. It's pretty much just probably the closest you're gonna get. And Croatia gonna be winning the roll, so they will be opting for that first pick. And honestly, they can pretty much have pick whatever they really feel like picking. Gonna immediately head into Classic 4, jumping into the more, I believe that's more of the, if I recall correctly, LN-based classics. And just a reminder, there are no bans in this tournament, so do not let that fool you. The client kind of forced, I'm correct? Or I could just be wrong. I haven't used the laser client, streaming client, in forever. So anyway, getting underway with our first map in the Classic 4. It is a 2v2 first to 5 deal, best of 9, and here we go. Are we going to, I don't know if we're having issues or just forgot to transition into the gameplay. There we go. Okay. So starting off, looks like Random States A picked up an early break from Dolan out of that first opening, just right off the intro of the map. They're at a low 97 into the 96 range now. And they find another break. That's going to give Croatia just a tiny bit of a lead, but Vision Acept is going to trade that miss back. But Dolan finding a train of misses as these triplets start flying in, and some of these doublets as well. These LNs just not making them feel the most comfort, as they're now down at that high to low 93 range now, trying to climb back up. It's only M Biscuit right now, just trying to hold the floor for Random States A as Dolan tries to catch up from the rest of the players. It's pretty much Brainstorm versus Biscuit, and then there's Vision kind of rounding out the side of Croatia, but now they're starting to find a bit of rush of 200s and 100s on these more LN-based release sections. And I mean, there's not really much you can work with in this map, so even if Vision finds a couple of drops, they should be fine, as Dolan has found a lot more than they have, and it's quite a wide accuracy difference. So Vision, despite not pulling up quite best efforts as Brainstorm did, still gonna give Croatia the first point of this match as Doland found a bit of uncomfort on those LN sections, those triplets, and Biscuit actually gonna take MVP from Brainstorm by just roughly 5% or 0.05 of a percentage based on just solely ratio. That is a very solid ratio from Biscuit. And I feel like now you can kind of see where the line draws for Croatia and Random States A, as I feel like the A team for Random States probably wants to stay away from the more long note based picks. So I would not be surprised if they probably stick into that top part of the classic pool. And yet we're going to see Classic 1, the title track, which is a rice-based classic. And looks like we have everything sorted out now. Had a little bit of technical issues earlier, but we are back to normal. And this map being about almost a minute longer than the last map, you have a lot more room. You have a lot of room compared to your last pick. So even though Doland didn't start off at the best, or didn't start off on the right foot, they do have a lot more to kind of catch up if they do find any breaks in this chart. Same with Vision as well, and just rest of the players in general. OD7, so even if misses do happen, it will be quite detrimental to your score. Looks like everybody is ready. It's going to be Brainstorm and Vision for the entirety of Croatia, while Random States A, they do have their two backup players, which are Justelo FXD7 and Pacific Girls. So if they ever need backup for those two players, they do have that. But for now, it looks like they're going to keep the same two players, M-Biscuit and Doland. And Brainstorm opening up this map with a break, and same with Vision. Croatia already losing both of their full combos. Doland falling as well. Now it's only Biscuits just starting off the first 100 combo of this map. And as these players start to recover from those misses, Vision actually finds a pretty nasty break. That sends them down to the low 90% range, at the 92 range actually. Biscuit has really just been holding the ground for Random States as Doland tries to catch up with their earlier break, but they do find another one. Same with Vision as well. And messing up a bit on those streams as the streams come rolling down. Vision starting to rush a bit actually on these streams as the timing is very awkward, but everyone else breezing through it. That is now a 100,000 point lead for Random States. Everybody missing on the exact same section except for Biscuit. Biscuit is the only one still in that 99 range and holding down the full combo for this entire lobby. And that is what's been giving Random States A the lead right now. Just solely Biscuit just holding down the floor when needed. Doland can probably afford a bit more mistakes, and Random States A will still have that lead. And Vision just falling a bit behind from Brainstorm in that low or that high 91 range, as that stream section really did maybe just too fast for them, or just kind of caught them off guard, while Brainstorm trying their best to match up with Biscuit, beating out Doland. It's just Vision really needs to climb up, and I mean, there's not really much map left to go, and especially with the lead almost reaching the 200,000 point range, it's going to stay at Random States A unless some disconnect happens. And yeah, Random States A will be tying things up at 1. And wow, what are those ratios from Brainstorm and Biscuit? I feel like this would have been a lot more closer if Brainstorm did not find those excess 200s and those misses. That's a 2-300 difference, and only 200s from Biscuit, a 991K. Wow, insane performance by Biscuit. And now it is going to go back in the favor of Croatia on what they want to pick. I mean, they did see how Dolan performed on the more long note based charts. Didn't really favor out for Dolan, so maybe they could go for Senorita Bonita or one of the, I believe Beyond the Decision, I think it was Water Flowing that has that long note surprise section, and they're gonna go for the old pick. So they're gonna go for, I believe, Obelisk. This is the Joke 1 pick, notorious for the high OD. This one is a bit more forgiving, I should say. And that's because it's OD8. I think 99% of all the other Joke 1 maps are OD10 or OD9. Croatia looking to take a 2-point score, while Random States A trying to look for the first breakpoint of this match. Still, looks like no sub-ins are going to be happening on the side of Random States A, as Biscuit and Doland will still be staying in. And here we go, the old pick. Going to be Obelisk, Matt by J, OD8, and then again, almost 2.5 minutes long, so mistakes still are quite crucial, but if they do show up at the beginning, few seconds of the map, you do have a lot of time to recover, but so far, everyone holding up very well, especially with that high OD, and right now, Brainstorm is actually holding the ground pretty well, 99.7, while Vision starting off a lot better than the last chart. Dolan's trying their best with these long notes. They are still holding up fairly well, 96%, but as I said, they miss, but they're still keeping that S. And Biscuit as well, trying their best to match up with Brainstorm. And, I mean, Vision starting to drop a bit of that accuracy, 98.3. Now, and, Dolan finds another break and another one, and drops that S rank. But Vision does trade it back, but you're going to have to offer a bit more than that. Dolan finding another one, Vision trades it back. And here come the streams and bouncing up those LNs. And Dolan dropping down to the 91s now. And wow, and right now it's just Brainstorm and Biscuit duking it out. The only two players with full combos in this lobby, as Dolan now at the 91% range, Vision 96, almost catching up to 97. As Dolan really just struggling on these LN transitions, and even those doublets as well. Vision finding another break. Oh, and dragging a bit on that stream. That did shrink the lead, but not by much. Still, gets rid of the 100,000 point lead, now down to 80,000 points. Hold on a second. Now this lead's really starting to shrink. Dolan is starting to catch up now. And if Vision, I don't think there's enough map. Vision needs to find a lot more of those mistakes. Right now, Vision is really, really doing their best as they're holding up, still climbing up their combo, and Biscuit falls. It's only Brainstorm now with the full combo, and that will conclude this map. Croatia will now go up 2-1 against Random States A. Oh my goodness. And I've also just received word from the referee of this match. It's most likely going to stay this way of Biscuit and Dolan for Random States A, as the other two players seem to be offline and most likely not going to be showing up for this match. So it is a fair game for the roster side of things. And wow, 986k from Brainstorm. Only 5 200s. That is insane. FC as well, near a 990. And it's time for Random States A to come back in this game. They're only down 1 point, but you really got to start strategizing here, because you don't want to go for that classic long note pick, and then it's pretty much a gamble if you want to go for half ghost, which is the more speed-based pick. And going for Zekai no Juliet Classic 2. I mean, seeing how the last Rice pick played out fairly well for Random States A, it makes sense, but I mean, this map, I believe one of the longer picks in this pool, almost 3.5 minutes long, and this chart, I believe is also the other Rice pick we have in the classic map pool. But it's, you can find a lot more mistakes in this map, and if they're real early, you should be okay, especially with this map's long runtime. So for the players that have been finding more trends of misses, such as Vision and Dolan, I mean, it's going to be a lot more fair for them. But also, this is a fairly calm Rice pick. As Vision rushes a bit on that stream, but right now Croatia has the lead as Dolan, I think, found an early break actually in the first 10 notes of the map, I believe, and oh, whoa, there's a 50 and a 100 there, but nothing too much as we still have lots of this map left to go. And now that lead is starting to roll back in the favor of Random States A, as Visions messes up a bit on those doublets there, and messes up that stream section as they drop down to the A rank, and Dolan has kept their combo going and actually has increased that accuracy now up to the 97. Biscuit and Brainstorm still being the absolute tanks for Random States A and Croatia for their respective teams. And Vision messes up that stream as well, but there's only that's only 1/3 of this map. There is still a lot more to go. So there is still lots more for Vision to climb up, but 76,000 point difference as Dolan has really climbed back. And even with that break, they didn't really lose much accuracy, and Vision traded that miss back either way, hitting that 98 range, only just about a percentage behind their teammate, while Vision is struggling to catch up with that accuracy down in the 92, almost 91. I mean, and now we're in the back half now of the map, 100,000 points of difference. Dolan finds a break, but Vision trades it back. So no harm, no foul there, as Brainstorm and Biscuit still duking it out at the top. It's basically top half versus bottom half here. A little bit of a break here before you get into the last drop of this song. And Vision finds a couple of breaks there, and so Brainstorm finds a break. The last FC on Croatia, and Biscuit stands alone now in the full combo range, 99.8. That just threw the lead even more in the favor of Random States A by roughly 50,000 points. I mean, if something insane happens at this ending, like I'm talking Dolan and Biscuit missing at least 20 times, but I don't think that's possible as this map is nearing the end. Vision messes up a bit there. And Dolan finds a couple of nasty breaks, but there's a 200,000 point differential as Brainstorm finds a couple more breaks and drops down to the 98. Wow. Yeah, 200, almost 250,000 point difference. Even with Brainstorm's best efforts and as well as Vision, it's just not enough. And Random States A going to tie things up at 2. And only 1-200 from Biscuit. What are you doing? A near V1SS sub 100 300 count. Wow. That is crazy. Really just holding the ground for Random States A, even with those breaks from Dolan. Biscuit really just hung in there and kept that lead on the side of Random States A. And now it is Croatia's turn to pick as it turns into a best of 5 situation. As also with Brainstorm trying their best to hold the floor for Vision, but it just wasn't enough compared to Biscuit. And now Croatia only having 2 classic picks left. You still have the 2 new maps and the fan pick. And I mean, seeing how Classic 4 went for them, Classic 3 makes sense, and I feel like that might be what they want to go for. And kind of exhaust the LN-based picks. And yep, there it is. As Classic 3 will get the picks, Senorita Bonita. The final LN-based pick in the Classic department. Just going with their guns here. And this is a really, really short... I think this is the shortest map we actually have. Only a minute and a half. But there is so much packed in this chart. And you just really have to be careful for the minute and a half of gameplay you have. As just even one miss can throw everything out of proportion. Waiting for our players to ready up. And here we go. And ooh, Vision opening up with an early break. And that's already going to throw a 30,000 point lead on the side of Random States A. As they find another one. They're down in that 92 range while everybody else in that S rank. But oh, Dolan finds a very nasty drop. But they managed to keep that accuracy intact. They are still in the S rank, department. And Biscuit still being the absolutely being a gauntlet for the side of Random States A, and while Brainstorm as well is not too far behind from Biscuit, it's just they're gonna have to put in the effort to really catch up accuracy-wise. And Vision finds another break. Dolan trades it back, however. It is a 1% difference, now a 2% difference. Action 1 between Vision and Dolan. 40,000 points on the side of Random States A, and it only climbs up as this map continues. And like I said, it's very short, only a minute and a half long. You don't have much to work for. And I think even with that, I feel like Random States A have secured this point, but there is still map left to go. As Vision finds a slider break and Dolan trades it back, however. But I don't think that's going to be enough. And yeah, Random States A will be taking the first break point of this match. And oh my god, okay, Biscuit, what are you doing? Another 1-200 performance, sub 50. 300 count. Biscuit once again being an absolute carry for Random States A. While Brainstorm as well with the FC just finding a bit more 200s than Biscuit did and tried to hold the ground for Croatia. And that is a crucial break point for Random States A, as they are now just 1 point away from sending things to a match point situation. But are you going to go for Classic 5? Are you going to exhaust out those Classic picks? As the final Classic pick is the more speed-based pick. And I find that to be a bit risky, especially if you're not a physically based player. If you don't have the physicality or speed for Classic 5. Your only other options are the fan pick and the newer, or the new picks, which I believe water flowing is pretty much just hybrid, where most parts have rice, some parts have a long note. And I mean, seeing how Croatia has been the more dominant long note team in this match, that's a bit of a gamble, and they're going to stick to Classic 5. Going to head into the speed-based Classic pick. And yeah, 250 BPM is what this map clocks in at some points in time. And you can just really hear it in this map, just the sheer speed of just what you're like. Just basically, you can kind of hear with the instrumentals on how the speed will be played out. And yeah, this was used as the speed pick for Joke 2 round of 32. And here we go, opening up with some very tame 1-2 sections, and Vision finds an early break. Same with Dolan, however. And there's a full reset from Brainstorm and Vision on the side of Croatia. But hold on a second. Dolan in the B rank range. But still, they're somehow keeping this lead down to just roughly 20,000 points, as I believe Vision is trying their best to hang in there, be ahead of Dolan, but it's not gonna. Oh my goodness, they're both in the B rank range, but Vision starting to climb back into the A rank. But look at Biscuit in the 99.4, while Brainstorm down in the 97. Oh my goodness, and Dolan is taking some really bad accuracy tolls now. They're almost at that C rank range, while Vision 98% in the A rank, and Biscuit finds a break. But I don't think that will really matter, as they are still in that 99 range. But now this lead is starting to shrink now. Hold on a second. Now 7,000 points, almost 6,000. It's starting to climb up now to 8,000, but I mean, with every section that's played here, it kind of just fluctuates back and forth. And Dolan! Whoa, what happened to Dolan? That's a 40,000 point. What? Okay. Are those hardware problems? Like, or did they just like soft lock on one of the keys? Because I'm pretty sure they just stopped playing at some points, as everybody misses at this final section, and Croatia going to take a break point back and tie things at 3. I'm interested to see on what happened to Dolan there. It looked like they just stopped playing. Either that, or maybe they just... I don't know if column locking one key exists, but That was very unfortunate on the side of Dolan. And Biscuit with only 2 drops, Brainstorm with only 6. Wow. It just came down to those bottom half. It just came down to the bottom half of the lobby. And Vision had the better accuracy by 7%. And now we are tied at 3. And it is Croatia's turn to pick. And just wow, what a turn of events. Just when Random States, just when Signs of Life showed up from Random States A that they were going to take this lead back in their favor, unfortunately a column lock happened from Dolan, and that lead just increased on the side of Croatia. But it's not over yet. This is Croatia's last pick of the match until we see, this will be their last pick of the match. So they're going to play new 1, so they're going to play Water Flowing. A more rice-based chart with some LNs sprinkled in there. And it is quite long, 3 minutes and 10 seconds. So there is lots of map. So breaks won't really be that costly until the end of the map. And oh wait, we see Signs of Life from Pacific Girls. So it looks like Pacific Girls has logged on. But will they play this chart? And it doesn't look like Pacific Girls will be staying in for this pick. It's still going to be Biscuit and Dolan on the side of Random States A. But maybe we'll see them play for the last pick for Random States A. Who knows? But here we go. This is probably one of the most important picks for both teams, as this can determine whether one team will give a match point and could potentially take the match, or it won't matter and we'll go to a tiebreaker. Who knows? But all we know is that we're playing new 1, and we are so ready for this pick. And Vision opening up with a couple of breaks. However, Dolan has kind of traded the accuracy part somewhat back in Vision's favor, actually, as they are pretty much neck and neck in accuracy. It's just Dolan has the combo advantage over Vision. Everybody else as well keeping that full combo in place, as we are already through with the first quarter of the map. Vision finding another break, but not as severe as their last one. And now Dolan is really starting to take away with this accuracy, 96, while Brainstorm actually has a bit of a lead over Biscuit in the upper half of the lobby. You can see Biscuit down with the 99.3, while Brainstorm actually started to match up with Biscuit. They did drop their accuracy down just a bit. Dolan and Vision start trading misses again, but it looks like it's going to be a 40,000 point lead on the side of Random States A just because of this accuracy difference. Almost 3% between Dolan and Vision, as Brainstorm and Biscuit are holding the anchor down for both of their respective teams. Almost tied up inaccuracy. It's just Biscuit is ahead by roughly a 1/10 of a percentage. Vision finding another break, while Dolan has yet to trade that as they are in the 200 combo range now. Yeah, Vision still still finding these misses on these doublets and these triplets. Oh, Dolan trades one back though. I think traded two actually, but Vision immediately finds one. And it is a 60,000 point difference on the side of Random States A. And here come the LN jump scares. That lead is starting to shrink now. Dolan finds a ton of 200s. I think they hit a bit late on those LNs, but Vision and Brainstorm find a miss. It's Biscuit again with the only full combo left on Random States A and in the lobby. Dolan finds another break, but with that reset on Croatia, I don't think it's going to really matter. But there is still map left. It's not entirely over. And Brainstorm finding a lot more misses than what they anticipated. Vision as well. And here comes some stream sections. Dolan finds a break, same with Vision. And Biscuit just holding on for dear life. I mean, it's a 100,000 point difference. I don't think it's really going to matter. And I think Random States A, just as long as nothing insane happens at this last part of the map, they will have this, and they will bring things to a match point situation and a break point as well. And oh my goodness, Biscuit again, almost a 990, only 3 200s and 1 100. Brainstorm actually beat them out in ratio, 172 300s compared to 187, and Vision also beating out Dolan with 300 counts. But here we go, last pick of this match gonna be Random States A. It's either going to be new 2 or the fan pick. Honestly, I want to see beyond the decision. I want to see a custom song. So, Random States A, please pick the custom song. Pick new 2, please. Also, this is an opportunity that we might see Pacific Girls join in for Random States A, as we did see them show up before we played New 1. So maybe we're going to see a swap out depending on what they pick. And they're going to go for the fan pick, so they're going to go for Icicles. The only map that is not made by Jay. OD 8.5, I believe the highest OD in this map pool, and yes it is. And for those who don't know, a fan pick is basically a map that is not mapped by Jay. It is mapped by fans of Joke. That is a quote right from Jay. And this is a more hybrid-based pick, as there are a couple hundred of long notes, almost a 2-to-1 ratio of regular notes to LNs, but looks like it's just gonna stay the core duo of Biscuit and Dolan. Even when we saw Pacific Girls join the lobby, they're not gonna. It looks like they're not gonna play this chart. And here we go. Underwent with the last pick of this match, the fan pick. And so far, opening up, Random States A having the lead so far, but ooh, it looked like Brainstorm actually found a early break, and they're down in that low 98 range, while Vision and Dolan are roughly 8 percentages apart from each other. So Random States A having a very commanding lead out of the opening, but it is not entirely over yet, as there is still still 2/3 of the map left to go. But I mean, 100,000 points in the side of Random States A, as Biscuit is still just absolutely, just basically destroying this map, tearing it to pieces. Dolan trying their best to just keep that combo, and same with Division. Brainstorm as well, trying their best to keep up with Biscuit, but they were down in that 96 range. Now that lead is starting to increase to the almost 300,000 point lead, as more of these really hard to coordinate LNs, these doublets starting to come down here now, and these triplets and some streams. It is not the easiest thing to hit, and now this lead's starting to stretch to 300,000 points. And yeah, I think even if an entire reset happened on the side of Random States A, I don't think that will change a single thing, as it looks like Random States A will be closing up this match with a commanding lead, a full combo by Biscuit, and Random States A is going to be taking this match 5-3. Congratulations. And wow, that was insane. I mean, seeing how well Brainstorm and Biscuit performed, as well as Dolan and Vision trying to round out some of those scores, trying to back up their main players. It was insane. And they're asking for a tiebreaker showcase. Are we going to allow that? And our streamer said no in 3 different ways. No lowercase, nope, and no uppercase. So I think we will not have a tiebreaker showcase. But congratulations to Random States A for winning this elimination round match. They will be moving on, I believe. And unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to Croatia, one of the newer teams in this tournament. But unfortunately, they are going to be eliminated, and they're going to be punching their ticket into the round of 16. Congratulations, Random States A. And for now, we are going to take a little bit of a break, roughly 45 minutes or so. We will be back to see Norway versus Audubon Avengers. So for now, I've been Aristotle commentating this match. We will see y'all in a bit. Take it easy. Goodbye.